What up, is Marcus Dynasty Football Dads. We're going to be doing the top, we're going to do 11. We're going to do 11, and there's a reason for 11, so you have to stick around and figure out what you want, why there's 11 people that we're going to be going through. And it's not this reason, but there is this, we are giving away a Brandon Ayuk jersey, and he is number 11, so we can just say that's another reason. But Brandon Ayuk jersey, all you have to do is be a subscriber to win at the end of March here, and we're going to be giving that away to one of you subscribers. That's all you have to do. You don't have to comment or anything. You just got to subscribe. All right. So,
now turn up.
So we're going to be going through the top 11 players. Number 1, Najee Harris. So I have these in two big tiers. Some people can put them even into more tiers, but honestly, I think from pick 1 to 3, there's a big, pick 1 to 3, I think there's like a little gap, and I think you can kind of interchange them depending on what you like in a running back. And yes, they are all running backs in the top 3. If you have a wide receiver that you want to draft, Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, hopefully you like 2 or more wide receivers, please trade down. These wide receivers are deep. I mean, we are talking about 10 wide receivers in the top 16. If you have an early first and an early second, you can get the wide receiver in the early second. You can trade back and get some picks and get some more wide receivers. Honestly, I've seen a lot of trades, pick 2 for 6 and 7. Okay, well, if you don't need a running back, which usually you do if you have pick 2. But if you don't, for some reason, because you somehow won the lottery or have a weird draft system, and you need, and 6-7 is maybe like Jamar Chase or Bateman and Waddle. Like, get the 2 wide receivers versus the 1 running back. That is my first advice right there. But Najee Harris, 101. I think Najee Harris is the best running back, overall running back in this draft. I think the only thing that people talk about is his elite speed. He doesn't have elite speed, but I could see him running a 4.5 and everyone being, all right, that's fine, perfect. Yeah, he's a little bit slower than, of course, maybe the Kenneth Gainwells and the Travis Etiennes who run in the low 4.4s. Oh, well. Najee Harris makes it up with it and everything else, and he, in my mind, is the best pass catcher of any of the running backs, especially in the first 2 rounds. So, Najee Harris, number 1. Travis Etienne is number 2, and him and Javonte Williams, man, their gap is closing. Because Javonte Williams, the more I watch his tape, the more I love it, but Travis Etienne is going to be my number 2 because he is that electrifying, his talent, his acceleration from 0 to 60 is sometimes unmatched. Like, you look at his acceleration, he looks like Jamal Charles. He doesn't have the Chris Johnson 4.29 speed, but I mean, we're talking a 10th slower, like into the 4.4, and Chris Johnson was 4.24. So yeah, maybe a 10th and a half. I think that's how you say it, or almost 2 tenths, whatever. Anyways, so Travis Etienne, 0 to 60, his acceleration is amazing. And there's a lot of times that I see runs by Najee Harris and Javonte Williams, and I go, oh wow, they run and it looks like, oh, they're going to break it. No. And then there's Travis Etienne, exact same run, and they don't even touch him because he just blows right through that hole and he's a shoot out of the cannon type. So again, Najee Harris, kind of your Steven Jackson. Travis Etienne, more of your Jamal Charles type. So my number 2. Javonte Williams is more of my Nick Chubb type running back. Everyone loves these comparisons, so might as well just figure out what kind of running back you like. But RB3 out of North Carolina, the guy's a monster. The guy can run over people. He actually has decent hands and can pass catch, and ultimately is a good 3-down back. And you're talking about the standard. If you want a 3-down running back, you're looking for 5'11", 220. That's what you want. Well, Javonte Williams is what you're gonna get. Those 3, 1 through 3, whatever order you want. If you have a pick 1.01, 1.02, 1.03. Get a running back and get one of those 3 running backs. All right, enough said in 1 QB. All right, let's go to pick number 4. And this is my most controversial pick, and people already hate on me for it, but I don't care. Right now, it's going to be Kenneth Gainwell because I'm assuming he's going to go A, in the top 3 rounds, and B, I think he's going to go to a team that actually he'll be the alpha on. If those 2 things change, then he won't be my RB4. He'll be my RB4, but he won't be pick 4. But right now, he's pick 4 because he has the ability, the only other ability, to be a 3-down running back. And so with that being said, he has just some elite traits, contact balance, quickness, short bursts, and everything like that to be a top 10, 12 running back. And you're not going to get that from any other running back in the draft. If you look at any other running back in the draft, it's going to be really hard pressed to find. Maybe there's one out there but you're going to be talking about a needle in a haystack. I think Kenneth Gainwell actually gives you a good chance for that. Number 5 is going to be Devontae Smith. I don't care what he weighs. I understand that his BMI is super low, but what we're talking about is a guy that has the upside of like a Marvin Harrison type, and that is amazing. Like when we talk about a guy that can realistically be great at everything, but yet still be undervalued, you could say. There's nothing he is bad at. He is one of the best route runners. He is one of the best just overall hands, one of the best with separation, with one of the best with inside routes, outside routes, over the middle, deep routes, like everything. But yet he still gets undervalued. Then people are like, I want the highlight reel. Well, Devontae Smith's going to get you stats, and that's what you want in fantasy football. He's my wide receiver 1. That's where I'm going with. He's all in a tier of 5 wide receivers. So if you want somebody else instead of him, that's fine. We'll talk a little bit about that when we get towards the end of the wide receivers. Jamar Chase, number 6. He, of course, out of LSU, the alpha to Justin Jefferson. There is a little bit concerns of separation in my mind, but again, yards after contact, yards after catch. He's awesome at that, and he's really good at deep routes, as you saw with Joe Burrow. If he finds a quarterback that can throw the deep route, watch out. Jamar Chase is going to have a lot of big touchdowns. That's pretty much all you need to know about that. Number 7 is going to be Rashod Bateman. He's my wide receiver 3 out of Minnesota. He's the most prototypical X wide receiver, and he is really good in a run-pass option offense or an offense that deals with runs because he's a really good run blocker, and he's really good at mixing his, I'm going to block to release, and really good at run block into slants. Of course, Minnesota did a ton of that. The Gophers did. And so I think he's going to be a really good wide receiver at the next level. Just please don't go to the Ravens, which I had him in a landing mock at one point, and that was just not good. But Rashod Bateman, I think, is a really, really overall great wide receiver, and I think at the next level, he'll translate into that. Number 8 is going to be Kyle Pitts. He's tight end 1, and there's not much else to say besides he's basically a wide receiver at a tight end position. He is a weapon. The only knock on him is a lot of times he lined up not at tight end position. He lined up in the slot or in the outside or wherever, and you know what? That's fine. I mean, if he's scoring fantasy points wherever he wants and he's still classified as a tight end, then that's it. 6'6", 240. That is amazing. That is like basically Megatron, but a little bit slower. He is like Darren Waller. So if you've seen Darren Waller play and you see that Darren Waller's had 2 top 5 tight end finishes, that is what Kyle Pitts can do in the next couple of years here, which is really scary. I mean, we really need an influx of tight ends here, and I think Kyle Pitts is that generational talent. And if you want him earlier, go ahead and get him. I mean, honestly, he might go 4, 5, 6, somewhere around that area. I've seen people ask those questions, and I've honestly seen people go, I would rather have him instead of those running backs. Crazy. I wouldn't do it. Maybe you're not crazy, but if you end up getting Travis Kelce right away, then like that, like a Travis Kelce production, then yeah, then you see it. But there's a lot of chances that it's going to take a little bit of time. Number 9, Trevor Lawrence, QB1, generational talent again. If you want a QB for like 15 years, even 10 years, we looked at Andrew Luck's production. Andrew Luck was, again, a top like 6-7 quarterback for a long period of his career. Just injuries kind of slowed Andrew Luck down towards the end of his career and early retirement. But I think Trevor Lawrence could do those exact same things, and he's actually a decently fast guy too. Like he can run a 4.6 40, so he is very mobile. And we're talking about a very similar Justin Herbert style. Justin Herbert, actually a decent athlete, but I think Trevor Lawrence is just like a better version of Justin Herbert. Which, just imagine that he was rookie of the year and broke all these records. That's how good. Last 2, Rondale Moore, number 10. Him and Jalen Waddle are, again, super close. But Rondale Moore, wide receiver 4 from Purdue. And again, you 4.29, 42.5-inch vertical. We're talking about being 5'7" is a problem. And people already said, well, who's the best 5'7" wide receiver? Well, the best 5'8" receiver, I didn't know who that was until we saw Tyreek Hill. So does Rondale Moore break all these different things? Is he the unicorn that we don't know about until all of a sudden he does all this stuff in the NFL and we go, oh my goodness, like it's the first 5'7" player to do this and this and this and this, which we could see. And honestly, Rondale Moore plays like he's 5'9" on the field at least. And no one questioned his height until they measured him. Everyone was like, oh yeah, he's probably 5'9", and then he just wasn't. So now he's 5'7". But anyways, Jalen Waddle right on his tail. He's my wide receiver 5, and he's the human highlight reel. And ultimately, highlight reels don't translate to fantasy production. So that's why he's my wide receiver 5. He has a lot of talent and ability. But again, I would rather have the more prototypical wide receiver. There's more boom and bust with Jalen Waddle. and I want to be safe when it comes to rookie picks. I want to know what I'm getting because ultimately, if you bust some of these picks, your redraft, your rebuild is going to be a lot longer. So I'll go through some more rankings and stuff if you want to. At some point, we're going to be getting close to draft time. So this is Marcos Dynasty Full Dads, where we do, again, daily Dynasty videos. All you got to do is subscribe for a chance to win. Peace out. See you tomorrow.
Now turn up.